Hello, welcome to Knowledge and Life. My name is Michael Enwere. Today on Knowledge and Life, we're talking about election and selection. In view with the just concluded election in Nigeria, I am moved to talk on this topic. Yes, a lot of people are aggrieved, a lot of people are already jubilating, a lot of people are calling for protests and all manner of things. But I want to enjoin those who have spoken up calling for calm to also call for calm. Nigerians, I think we should be calm. Being calm does not mean that we should not express our grievances, however, that should be well noted. But then I think we need to follow it systematically. Yes, looking at the just concluded election, it was mad. No doubt with a lot of irregularities, with a lot of rigging. We saw people being molested, we saw people being stabbed, we saw people rigging the election right there with evidence to show for that. We saw a lot of people disenfranchised because voting didn't take place in their polling unit or in their ward or in their local government. That is not acceptable. I mean, the worst of it all is the beavers machine, which was introduced to us. I thought it was cool, the idea that it's going to give us a very credible and unbiased collation of results like the INEC have told us, but it didn't do that. When I saw that, I was thinking we are going to vote on the beavers itself. And then from the beavers, the electoral result will be transmitted to the INEC server. But that didn't happen. We saw ballot. They only accredited the voter with the beavers machine, and then the voter went ahead to vote on the ballot papers, which was eventually counted and was supposed to have been sent through the beavers to the INEC server, but it wasn't. And a lot of people say this was a technical hitch. For me, I don't think really it was a technical hitch. You will say this was a technical hitch when about 70% of the results collated in the polling unit were transmitted using the beavers to the INEC server, and about 30% didn't happen because of network issues. Then we'll call it a technical hitch. But for me, it is a decision by INEC not to transmit those results from the polling unit. Because if they wanted to transmit it, they would have transmitted at least a good number of it. Because if they knew they had technical hitch that would have stopped them from transmitting those results, there was nothing wrong for them to have postponed that election for yet another day or maybe another week. It wouldn't have harmed anybody. What Nigerians wanted was a free and fair election. At this time in our country, where agitations are all over the place, insecurity, people are facing a lot of hardship, people are angry, this is not a time you want to mess with the mind of Nigerians. And when you tell people to keep calm and not say anything about this, you are also infringing on their right to expression, their freedom of speech, and their freedom of association and socialization and conceptualization. Because it is very difficult for you to tell a man whose house has been burned down and his property scattered away to keep calm. As a matter of fact, if I was the enemy of that man, I would be scared at his quietness because I don't know what next it might be. For me, I think INEC should do the right thing, the leaders should do the right thing, and the Nigerians themselves should do the right thing. The right thing will not be to undermine the will of the people just for a personal interest or a collective interest. That is not going to help our country. And as a matter of fact, you're telling people to go to court. If the court were trusted, if the courts were trustworthy, people won't even worry about protests. They will go to court. But we also know that the court itself is compromised. So this is like a case of calling for anarchy in our country, where the court don't work, where institutions don't work, where people just have their way just because they can. Right now we live in a Nigeria where political talks are more important than an average citizen. They determine whether you will vote or will not to vote. They determine whether you will live or not to live in a certain area of the country. All of these are not acceptable. My word for all those who are in charge, who are at the helm of affairs, is that what goes around comes around. You are setting a precedent that will see people unlawfully take power in the future. Whoever emerges from these electoral processes we see right now in Nigeria will come and go. But this antecedent that you have established that have brought you to power may not go away. The right question here is, if the person who was reported winner right now was not the winner and someone else was the winner with this situation, would the person not cry out foul? Let's get it right, Nigeria. We cannot keep going back to the old order. We need to move ahead. I am not against anybody winning the presidential election, but it should be free, fair, and credible. With everything that is going on, INEC have not even showed remorse of a lot of people that were disenfranchised. They've not paid attention to the people that were injured, scores of people, if not in their hundreds, that were injured all over the country, in Rivers, in Lagos, and in other parts of the country. The intimidation, how long exactly would we continue in this manner, in this way? The people have the right to defend their mandate. They have the right to choose their leader. Don't stand in their way. Let's get it right once and for all. Nigeria is for all of us, and we are all stakeholders in this place called Nigeria.